Good afternoon, everyone. I am Govind Agrawal, the moderator of this webinar. We are delighted to welcome you all to this webinar, which is being organized by the Continuing Professional Education Committee of ICI. Please block your calendar on every Friday to get insights into various emerging and high-value topics. It is my pleasure to be a moderator for this webinar on opportunities for CAs in IT and software industry and emerging areas for CA in practice in government subsidies for startups and consultancy for PMEGP. In a short while, we will start this seminar. First, I would like to apprise you about the CPE committee. In today's ever-changing professional scenario, the biggest challenge to the professional is how to stay on the top of their game while adapting to new requirements and norms. Therefore, it is imperative to be up to date, to offer unique guidance, influence others with their innovative approach and expertise. It is also vital to stretch old ideas beyond traditional boundaries to create new perspectives. In this context, continuing professional education facilitates professionals to maintain, improve, and broaden their knowledge, skills, and expertise required to achieve their professional goals through webinar and seminars. The program of this evening is as follows. We have two sessions of 1 hour each, and the topics are opportunities for CAs in IT and software industries, and the other topic, second topic, is emerging areas for CAs in practice in government subsidies for startups and consultancy for PMEGPs. Our eminent speaker will talk about the above mentioned two emerging areas of professional interest. The medium of communication should be in English only, as participants from across the globe would be attending the program. Now, till now, I think. Yes. Now, I would like to introduce our first speaker, CA Pramod Padiji. He is a seasoned CA and certified independent director from the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, bringing over 22 years of global expertise in finance, commercial contracting, and strategic advisory. With a professional footprint spanning in UK, Europe, APEC, and North America and Latin, he is known for his strategic insight in financial planning, contract governance, and cross-functioning leadership. His work is distinguished by a strong focus on compliances, cost optimization, and enterprise risk management in multinational environments. He is the author of several commercial handbooks and white papers and has delivered corporate training program to professionals in over 55 countries, for which he has been awarded with most prestigious Golden Global Guru twice in past. So now I would like to invite CA Pramod Padi for deliberation of his session.
Thank you very much, Govindji. It was indeed my pleasure to be here in front of all my fraternity. So before I start, I was always wondering that, while I was away from India for so many years, so when I'll get this opportunity, to stand with my professional, brothers and sisters, and share my experience. And I think today that opportunity has come because of our very CP committee. So I'm thankful to Satish ji and Vishnu Agarwal ji for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with you all. Now I'll without spending time, I think we have audience from global presence here. So I would like to welcome all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whichever part of the world you are. So next 1 hour, I will take you through no doubt what are the opportunities we have, but as an industry, IT and software, how it has evolved, and what are the emerging things we are seeing, right? And what are the key digital transformation stories that's come up, right? Which is actually changing all of our day-to-day life. Yeah, so Govindji, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. slides. I will show you some, pictures, and let me have your view if you can recognize them and what is the digital transformation story behind them. So can anybody guess from the audience what is this story about? I'll just give 30 seconds. So Govindji, we have any response? So Govindji, any response from anyone? Or
One answer is there.
Actually,
One answer is there.
yeah.
CA Vidhay Kumar Velchuri said that it is auto billing.
Yeah, I think to some extent he's correct.
there's one more responser, Abhishek Chandakji, and he says that it's an automated digital billing counter.
No, there is one more.
Okay, yeah, good. So I think we're on the right track. So this is one of the free checkout store, right? Which Amazon had brought in year 2020, and it is somewhere in central London. So if you can see my screen,
Yes.
it is just a store, right? You can't see anybody here. So there are just digital doors here. So your mobiles, your app becomes your entry point.
There are, excuse me, sir. There are also 2 and 3 response also.
Oh, okay.
E-commerce
Yeah.
and Amazon store without any staff like that.
Right. Yeah. I think the last one was very correct. Yeah. So this is actually called, as a checkout free shopping experience, which Amazon has brought. So I think we all might be wondering, since our childhood, is it possible that, I can walk into the store, right, and pick up whatever I need and just simply walk out? So is it possible? And this is what, Amazon was thinking for, quite some time. It was their dream also, right? How they can bring this experience to their esteemed customers. And so this is the answer. It is there in front of us. So you just download the app and go to that particular Amazon, Fresh thing. Then it'll generate a QR code that becomes your entry point, and then you go and pick up whatever you need. And then just come out, and it'll get directly billed to your Amazon account. So this is one of the key digital transformation story which has changed the human being's life. How to to what extent digital transformation can get into. Now let me go to the next story. So this story is very close to my heart. If anybody can guess what is this about. Any answer? Is it easy to guess?
No.
Okay. So this is actually, let me explain what is this. So this is anyway, it is UPI. So it is known to us, right? And when it's launched in 2016 by our national, payments company India, corporation India, it was supporting, both peer-to-peer and also, peer to, merchandise kind of, shopping experience. and it is widely brought out by our, you can find out now any vendor you go, even for roadside also you can get. The point here actually what I'm talking about is, you would have seen the UPI, the QR codes, right? Wherever the vendor shops you go, and you can see that, you just buy something, then, just you scan your code and then the payment happens, directly. Here, one of our startup in India, they've gone one step ahead just to reach to those vendors, those who are deprived of, electricity, and those who are deprived of, even a smartphone also, right? So they brought the UPI through a wristband only. It is just, costs around $1,000 and all, and it just gives only simply one screen. So thus the vendor needs to click that, and it generates a QR code, and simply you pay by that, and then it gets, the amount get transferred. So this is one of the Indian, revolution story I would like to speak about, again, the key digital transformation, where actually India also heading into, and how it is impacting our common man's life in day to day. And while you call about, the inclusivity, right, whatever technology we bring, whatever digital transformation we bring, whether it is reaching our mass or not. If it's not reaching the mass, then it is not a successful, technology. I think this is what, India's the biggest story, and many countries in the Europe, and I think Singapore and other countries have started getting into this. And I've heard that, recent past, Germany also going to tie up with India to, adopt this technology. So this will throw up, you guys can do now, going forward, the international transaction also through API. So this is the third story. Any guess? School in a box. So this is again, another story which is again brought up by one of our Indian startup only, where actually they're trying to take the digital version of study and the school kind of infrastructure to the rural villages where actually there is no internet also. So how it happens is, your entire school curriculum, everything is put up in a box. Then that has been taken to the rural or remote schools where actually students can take the benefit of digital learning also, with the ease of being staying in their own village, while the technology is reaching out to each and every village. And this is the last story. Anyone can guess. We have seen this just few days back.
Sir, earlier response has come that learning app.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's very correct. Yeah, learning app without any internet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need any internet for that. Any guess on this?
Sir, no. Right now, there is no response.
Okay, I'll give a clue. It is used during Operation Sindoor. Oh.
S400.
No, this is our own AI-powered air defense system manufactured by BEL, Bharat Electronics Limited. So it integrates, the radar system, the sensors, and the communication technology, which can provide, the real-time threat assessment, right? While something is happening, from your neighboring countries or any other enemy countries. Like, here in this case, it could able to, detect the drones coming from and the missiles coming from the Pakistan. And it was actually proactively, combating them. And without zero casualty, it was a 100% successful story, which actually the world is also looking astonishingly today. Okay, so these are the digital transfer.
There are responses.
Yeah.
One is the BrahMos missile.
Yeah.
Precision missiles said by
Okay.
Kapil Saigal, Ambala.
Yeah.
And S-400 defense system,
Yeah.
set of Goramunga.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So the point I'm trying to make here is, this AI automation or the digital transformation is not something new, but only has been widely followed in the IT and software industry. You can see how this the enablement from IT software industry is getting into each and every corner of the world and each and every part of the ecosystem, and how it doesn't leverage. And we are seeing the success stories. So that was my key point before I could start my deliberations. Okay, this we know already. So let me get into the index now. Uh, so again, I like to start that by saying that we spent many years, right, decoding balance sheets, and tech scores and regulatory frameworks and so on, right. But today we all dive into a wall where our analytics mind meets the algorithms, the cloud systems, and digital disruptions. Okay. So over the next 60 minutes, I'm not here just to talk about IT and software, but to open the doors to opportunities that are waiting for all of us in this dynamic industry. So when I talk about the dynamic industry, it is just not only restricted to India. So entire 212 countries, entire globe is open for us to grab, right? So let me bring a story to you. A few years back, during my articleship day, while I was, we are doing a, IT company audit. At that time, it was not big, it was very small setup, right? So when I asked that, guys, let's take your fixed asset register, right? It was around, 6:30 or 7 p.m. something, right? And, the CEO said that, he laughed and said, our biggest asset just walked out of the door only at 6 p.m., right? So I realized on that day that, the value of IT lies in the intangibles, solving problems, right? And creating experiences. That's what, if you see the Indian IT journey or the global IT journey, what are the companies who are working with? They've been on this journey, continuously trying to, do innovation in day-to-day life and bringing new experiences to everyone's, life, so that things can become easier, things can become simpler, and we can live a better life. So I will be, as a part of my presentations, I'll be talking about, the IT sector overview, both global and India. Then what are the finance functions, you see in a IT and software industry? It is not much difference to other industries, but however, I've been since with IT industry for last 2 decades, so I can bring some, perspective on that. Okay. What are the key emerging trends we see in the IT for next decade or so? But of course, while there are emerging trends, there are a few headwinds also. But of course, there are some tailwinds also waiting for us. Then finally, the key thing is actually what are the opportunities for CA? So all these things are happening by the world, right? Our government is doing a lot of things. Our software companies are doing so many things. There are cloud providers. But what for CS? Whether as a chartered accountants, are we going to take any takeaways from here and can bring our value addition also in these things? So the answer is yes, there are a lot of opportunities which I'll be talking about. And of course, now why do we prepare ourselves? So that is the key. So post-COVID, the era has changed, right? And so Institute has also rightly brought, the AICA course and so many things. So we all need to prepare ourselves. There are certain key areas which we find, since I'm close to the outside world also, and I've been talking to my customers on day-to-day life. So I understand what do they need. And I also understand as a finance professional, how we guys as a chartered accountants can prepare ourselves, then we can go and meet the IT and software industry needs as well. And of course, after that, we'll have, if some time left, we'll have a Q&A round also. Yeah. Okay, so just to give a global view of the IT industry, so it is a massive market size, around 5.5 trillion US dollar. These are numbers as of 2024. The numbers can go up to 6 trillion also. because there are a few companies, the startup ones, they don't disclose their numbers. And the major segments, the service offerings came in IT services, software products, software as a service. It is cloud-based or it could be license-based. Then, of course, the cloud computing, which is the buzzword in today's world. Then it is driven by the latest technologies like artificial intelligence, your cybersecurity, 5G. I'm hearing now Israel and some other countries are now playing thinking about to bringing 6G and Taiwan kind of countries in very soon. IoT, Internet of Things, blockchain, and so on. Then you have few key players. There are many, of course, in thousands, but while it's coming to the key IT industry players, so we should not forget the names like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, IBM, Accenture, SAP, and Oracle globally. So because they've got so strong foothold and footprints, their products they are going to dictate at least for next decade or so how the IT industry, how this AI revolution is going to evolve. And they've been working on a tirelessly for last 4-5 years or so. I'm excluding here the social media companies like Meta and all, because they're into different kind of business. Then over this last 2-3 decades, right, the main key outsourcing hubs for this global industry. So we are as a country, India was always on the forefront, right? I'll talk about the India numbers also. It will mesmerize you. Then Philippines was lately catched up, but they are doing a good job at least in BPS services. Then in Eastern Europe, especially the countries like Poland, few interior part of Poland. Then there are few Baltic nations like Estonia and Lithuania and Latvia. They're also catching up now, and so on. So few Eastern Europeans, the cost arbitrage is little bit satisfying them, and due to GDPR requirements especially in the Europe region. Those countries actually, they feel preferable to go to Eastern Europe also. But they are predominantly, I would say, not into full-fledged IT services as per se. That would be for, BPS and, maybe some kind of, maybe L2 kind of things. Beyond that, they can't do much. Okay. Now, with this, let me move to the India view. So in India view, actually, if you see, this could be one of the major contributors after, I think, the BFSI region to our GDP. It has contributed around 7%. It's a mammoth, huge number to our GDP in 2024. We do exports alone of USD $200 billion in 2024 alone, right? And if you just add up the domestic demand here, it could go up to $250 billion in 2024 alone. It is dominated by TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL. But however, lately, in last one and a half decades, so we all have seen that there are two tier 2 companies also coming and catching up very, very fast, like Techem, and other startup companies, LTI, Mindtree, and so on. Right? So where is our strength as an IT industry view? We are always into consulting because we are the country who manufactures very good talent every year. The kind of BTech graduates we produce in a year, nobody else in the world do that. That's why we get recognized as an IT hub in the world. We should be proud of this. And of course, we have got expertise into the BPS services and SaaS and analytics. And right now, if you see the last 1 decade or so, there is a growth fueled by global outsourcing companies like AI, cloud, and cybersecurity. Maybe here I'd like to bring 1 or 2 case studies, which is actually related to my company. So that has actually changed our life, right? So for example, if you walk into any kind of passport seva kendra, right, which is managed by our company TCS, and second is IRCTC, right, and the India Post. So all the 3 areas, right, where actually people were having a lot of problems, right, before. So at least you might be finding some kind of better experience if you go and see now. Let's say earlier passport is just to come in maybe 2 months, 3 months time, or sometimes it's just to go less in the entire flow itself. Now you can get your passport within a week's time. That's it. And similar, yes, India Post also, the kind of transmission we built, you can get the traceability of each and every parcel now, where it is moving, if it is lost, why it is lost, how many times it takes to go from one destination to another destination. So it is just a transmission story, and it is touching everyone's life. So that's how the Indian IT has moved, and it has contributed heavily to our economy boom also, and transforming the day-to-day life of the infrastructure, of the facilities, what is being used by common people across India. Then, of course, we have got a strong talent pool of more than 5 million IT professionals in India itself, and they are into multiple disciplinary fields. You name a technology, you name an area, you name an industry, so we have got expertise right here. And that's why we are getting recognized. And that's what our future also is very bright for Indian IT. Okay, now let me talk about the little bit of the finance functions. So it's not something new. So you all might be knowing, but there are 2-3 things might be coming up new for you if someone is there in the manufacturing industry. So you would see audit means internal audit, then finance planning and analysis, treasury. You will have for the international companies at least. Procurement. This is the key thing. I'll thrust up on this now a little bit earlier or later on this. Employee services. This is the very key, right? For the companies like us, who deal with around 600,000 people to maintain their entire records, right? And payrolls, and so on, right? And we have got a digital platform to teach our people and to make them enabled, and giving us a training hub, right? So how does the entire system works? So that is covered under the employee services. Risk management. This is the very key department here. Because the moment you step out your legs out of India, you are getting into territory of the global influence, right? Hence, you will be prone to the risks which will come across while you're getting into kind of global contracting. So how do you manage that, right? So here again, there is a particular department who will take care of this. It's a particular function. Financial reporting, of course, you will see in everywhere. Business finance. This is a very, very critical function. So how does it happen, for a large company? So while you are, running around, 30 billion kind of revenue, and you have got services providing across 55 nations, right? How to tackle the local demands? How we are going to negotiate our contracts? How we are going to tackle into the taxation issue? How we are going to tackle into the local regulatory functions in that particular country, right? So someone should be knowing all these nitty-gritties, also with a key, capable, to understand the finance, can relate it, can understand, where the deal or where the contract can move around, and what kind of, outcomes it can bring to the company. That's all about the business finance functions, right? So business finance function means it is a culmination of, all the earlier functions, what I'm saying, at a country level, which is being played by, very senior peoples who can tackle not only who come with the finance acumen, also with customer facing experience, and the capability to, to go and stand in front of the customer and negotiate the contracts. And of course, taxation we have got, okay. I left one area called procurement, right? So what do you mean by the procurement? Procurement here it's a very big function for any IT company as of now, because you are just no longer, into providing only the manpower services. We are also into providing services as a managed service partner. So having said that, what does it mean? It's, we are just not doing only the application development services or the BPS services. full-fledged Indian IT players are now getting into provide the infrastructure services also. So while you provide infrastructure services, there actually you need to deal with people like AWS, HP, SAP, and so on to buy the licenses, right? To buy the cloud, okay? And also you need to get your job done through few subcontractors or few vendors, okay? They'll be reporting to us. Hence, for any big size setup like IT companies, so the procurement function is very, very key area. And little bit lacuna here could get into bigger mishaps because finally everything is KPI driven. And if your vendors fail you, then ultimately we are failing our customers. So these are the functions actually, few critical areas which we all can try as an IT industry if you're targeting. Okay, they'll be always coming as a surprises. All these functions are always evolving. But however, as a CS, with our expertise into finance and the capability to understand the business better, we are best capable of doing justice to all of these areas.
Sorry to
Yeah, go ahead.
interrupt
Any
you.
questions?
Sir, there is a difference of 30 to 40 second. Our session is visible to member after a difference of 30 second. So there would be a delay of 30 second. And
Okay,
you can
okay.
ask, you can continue your session. Respond would be late. Response
Oh,
would be
okay.
late.
No problem, no problem. Sure,
And
I'll
also,
keep that in mind.
there has been 517 participants has been joined
Oh,
this
God.
webinar.
Very good. So
Okay.
that is quite, heartwarming to know.
Let you continue, sir.
Yeah, sure. So let me move on. So any questions as of now, Govinda, or I can move on? Or we
Sir,
take an end?
just I'm checking.
Yeah.
Sir, there is no question.
Okay, good. Then I
Till
think I
now.
can cover that at the end of the session also. Yeah. Sure. Okay, so now I'm getting to the few emerging trends, what we see, and which is actually going to shape the entire IT and software industry, both globally and also within India. Post-COVID, all these things has become a norm now. So just to name a few, that there is a rapid expansion of the global captive centers. So what do you mean by GCCs is actually, while there is a company, okay, so let's say Microsoft. So they are trying to build their own center somewhere in India to provide the IT services to the counterpart, maybe in US. So that is called there, as a global captive center. So this was actually has become very rampant, post Trump has taken over now, just 3-4 months back, due to some taxes and things, and all the stuff and the tariff issues. But this norm is there before also, but it has become a little bit rampant, and we are seeing very much traction in this area. So while this is happening, this could be a boon to us also as IT professionals, as a finance professionals. We can find a lot of good opportunities in this area as well. And we can find, as a professional, we can provide our best services to these people. Then the second area is the consulting firms, Big Four, and the startups. They are also getting into IT. So IT is no more immune that, earlier we just to say only certain things only IT companies can do. No, that is not the case now. Because the expansion, the field has become so vast, right? So especially post-COVID. So I just shared that, yesterday only one of the Big Four is getting into, the product consulting also, which earlier is just to be done by, SAP and, Oracle kind of people. Then there is a huge, intervention from, hyperscalers. Hyperscalers in the sense, I mean, Microsoft, Google, then your AWS, the highest one, okay? They play at a very large scale of, their data center business. They provide the public cloud business on a pay-as-you-go model, which is very critical, and that's why they could able to retain a lot of customers. And they bring, they out of state of the art kind of technologies to understand the business better at any scale, and they actually provide customized solutions at that level. Hence, hyperscalers interventions into IT is taking a big toll. Then you are seeing outcome-based models. So where actually you are pricing now, whatever you earlier we just to ask, whether it is time and material or the fixed price, that is no more now. So customers are demanding, if you can provide me IT and software service, but what is for me? If I'm not getting outcome from my business, right? Why should I pay? Right? So you tell me as an IT company whether you can give me this much business cash savings, right? You tell me whether you can save me for, maybe let's say by 5%, 10%, 20% of my total cost of ownership on a year on year. Okay. That's how it derives, the pricing methodology. So slowly you are getting to that. Then AI-led productivity expectation. This is the buzzword now, it is killing all of us. Why particularly I would say is while the industry is maturing, right? But still it is half-baked. But the customer's expectations, has become now doubled. And they're all of a sudden they're expecting to what extent, by bringing AI-led, initiatives, I can gain some more productivity into my day-to-day life. Hence, my per unit cost, my consumption will come down, or my cost will come down, or my savings will go up. So all these discussions are now taking trend. So what are the new RFPs you are getting now? So this is one of the new trend you are seeing. Then of course, crisis for talent, AI, cybersecurity. So friends, what has happened, in over last 3-4 years, things has gone up, so dramatically, right? And the progression, right? The way technology has moved from the ladder to ladder, right? So fast. Like, NVIDIA has brought their, industry, talented, what you say, the GPUs, correct? So that is a change game. Okay. While they did that, there is someone called, AI Cloud. Okay. Who has again brought with their, Gen AI kind of things. They brought some revolution, how the entire things could look like. And now, while all these things are happening, so where is the talent? So we had never, trained up people to to face the AI demand, right? And if there is, you are bringing AI, then there is a cybersecurity demand also. Okay, so there is a huge crisis as of now. That's what any creativity companies is actually facing. But this is what one of the emerging trend also I would like to bring. Okay, having said that, let me now take you through few headwinds as an outcome of these emerging trends. Right. So this is part of the game. Actually, every 5 to 10 years, 15 years, you will see this trend that the entire economy will go from one round to another round, and from there it revives. So right now, we have been stabilized almost, right? We are no more into slowdown thing, and we are catching up. But this global economic slowdown always is a headwind for any industry, and particularly for IT and software, because we are so much dependent on the global the advancements. Hence, this is one of the key criteria which will play a major role into any IT company's survival also sometime. Geopolitical uncertainties, no need to mention here. We all are experiencing Russia-Ukraine war for past 2-3 years. Okay, it is actually creating a lot of disturbance in our international scenario, how the business is happening, and as a result, how the inflation has actually taken up, right? Then there is a rupee appreciations. So we all know that a depreciating rupee is good for us, and if the rupee appreciates, it is not a good news for the exporting business, right? We all know that. Then you have got the talent cost inflation. So this is again, it has come up, as a demand, post-COVID again, where actually, the talent has started moving across the companies, and as a result, there is a surge in the inflation, there is a surge in their cost, and this is what a headwind, right? Tech budget cuts. So why this is happening now? Okay, this is happening for this very simple reason. because the industry, so the industry I'm saying, particularly the BFSI, the retail, and TTH, okay? So they are very confused now, right? They couldn't able to appreciate the consumer behavior, how it is going to be, okay? Due to several situations, the demand is low, and this industry is still evolving with a lot of new ideas, right? So they are questioning themselves whether how all these new things, how the digital transformation ideas, right, can be implemented into their own business cycle, right, into their own IT budget, into their own strategic plan, whatever they thought, in 5 years back it will happen. So it is again, actually, it has been taking them to the drawing table again to think, is there a chance that, they can do some tech budget cuts there, okay, to meet the newly, these developed scenarios. Then, of course, AI and automation. So while this is that disruptor, in my next slide, I'll also tell you now how it could actually, improving, how it is bringing the new opportunities also. Okay. So these are the key headwinds I wanted to brought before you. Yeah. So having said a lot of, headwinds, no need to worry, as I said before also. So there are few tailwinds also. So particularly, there was a Niti Aayog's paper and also from NESCOM, if you see, the recent studies over next 5 years, the Indian IT will be, growing in actually, double-digit growth. While we don't forecast that much in, in the global spend in the global IT companies. So right, the whatever you saw that, right, the 200 billion I spoke about, as export number, that could grow up to $300 billion in next 5 years, right? And the 5.5 trillion what I talked about, there's a global spend as a IT as of 2024. That is anticipated around $9.5 trillion by 2030. So there is a clear sign that there is a digital spend surge is going to happen. Okay, after there is little bit economic slowdown. Okay, and when the technology becomes stabilized, companies will again start getting the benefit. They will really see that how they can implement the new ideas. Hence, they will come forward to just open their purse to spend more. Then AI and Gen AI integrations. This is a very key actually. Everyone is talking about. Our institute also, we are having a lot of courses and deliveries from this. How both can be integrated so that the neural technology, right, at the end of the day, that can go to an advanced field, and this is what the companies like NVIDIA, the companies like Google. I was just saying there are 4 more new products has come by Google yesterday only. Okay, and they are planning to give AI-enabled, I think Gemini services to everyone in the North America, at least to start with. It was an announcement from them 2 days back. Okay, so how this Gen AI thing is going to become a new norm, and it is part of everyone's life.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Our chairman has joined.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Good evening, Pramod sir. How are you?
Good evening, sir. Satish ji. I'm good. How are you?
Nice to see you, sir. I was traveling. I have just reached the destination. That's what I thought that I should talk to you. Hello, Ayush. How are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Fine, Ayush. And hello, Govind. How are you?
Sir, fine, sir. Fine. What about you, sir?
Akshat is there. Okay. Akshat, secretary is not there?
Good, sir.
He's joining.
You are joining. Okay. Sir, Pramod, you continue, please.
Okay, sure, sir. Okay, yeah. Then, of course, we have this cloud and cyber security. This is the new tailwind we'll expect. So a lot of companies in India itself, they are going to build their own cloud. Okay, and cyber security experts. So these are the few emerging areas. It will definitely help at least the Indian IT service providers. These new areas. Skilled workforce, no need to say, as I told you, we are a 5 million plus, skilled workforce, and it's growing, and year on year, we are getting more experience. And now every IT company is actually, getting skilled, with AI and other new technologies to all of the, their employees. So it's a good thing for all of us. Government incentives, I think my colleague, Akshay will actually bring these things. What are the few government incentives also is there for, IT and software industry. Then ESG tech demand. So this is one of the key area. I'll talk about in my next slide also, a little bit, elaborate on this. This could be one of the key buzzword, where CS can play a major role, that's what my feel is. Okay, having said all these things, so what for us is at CS, right? How can we take advantage of all these things? So I just bifurcated this into two buckets in practice and in service, but don't take me otherwise. It can be interchange. Anyone can do anything. So just to name a few AI-driven internal audits. So there are several things we can do here. So for example, in the Indian IT, AI-driven internal audits are the revolutionizing the compliances, your cybersecurity, and process assurance. These audits will integrate with your cloud platforms, then the DevOps tools and the ERPs to provide real-time insights, reducing your manual efforts and enhancing risk detections. Okay. So if I get the opportunity some other time, I'll walk you through what are the how does this AI can work in the internal audits, and because this itself is a chapter for about a couple of hours. What are the key use cases? And there are a few popular tools also can be leveraged, right? Then you've got transfer pricing, GST and IDT and advisory. No need to say, all our esteemed members are very well aware of this. The knowledge of good transfer pricing, how it can play a major role, okay? Because going forward, the IT is getting into the software as a service kind of thing, right? So while software as a service kind of thing comes, so there is a combined platform, there is a combined cloud. The cost might be sitting somewhere, the beneficiaries across the globe. So how do the transfer pricing will move? Okay, how does Indian chartered accountants can do much value addition here, so that while it is getting audited any part of the world by any internal auditor, we are not getting into any kind of problem. So this is a very, very lucrative area we can explore. Then risk consulting, contract lifecycle management. Okay, contract lifecycle management is one of the very key area. I think we can play much better role than any lawyer also, because we have the financial acumen, we understand the business, we understand the risks while you're getting into the business. Okay, so when I say contract lifecycle management, it starts from the RFP cycle itself. So while you are getting the initial contract to review, okay, then review it and give it to your customer, then negotiate it with your customer, then execute the contract. Okay, once you execute the contract, then come and deliver the contract also. Okay, that's all about the contract lifecycle management. Then the tax and regulatory structuring for global expansions. This is again very, very good area, I would say. Then in service sector, there are few long-hanging fruits now we can catch. To name a few, there are few, there are quite a few. I have seen, tier 2, tier 3 companies or maybe the startups who actually need our expertise. Okay, we can join them as financial controllers, right? Or to manage the entire business finance and the pricing analysis. So these are a few key departments which we can take over. Okay, then going with your export-oriented business, your revenue assurance and your regulatory compliance takes a very, very key role. Okay, there also can play a major role, because we have the knowledge of all the accounting standards and the IFRS. We can also get into the merger and acquisitions, treasury, and the global taxation. And there are the last one. It's very interesting area. So if someone wants to take up something along with finance and IT, and little bit sales acumen, okay, you should think about this area that is called pre-sales. So pre-sales, what happens, it is the stage of a deal, right, where you just got the request for proposal from the customer, okay, and you need to develop the proposal sitting along with your business development manager, sitting with your sales people, sitting with the industry heads, sitting with the technology people, okay, sitting with the lawyer and so on, okay. So it is actually not only restricting only to the pricing commercials, where you take a key role in the deal structuring itself to meet the customer demand. And I think this is one of the good area now. If anyone with little bit sales acumen and anyway we are expertise in finance, so we can do much better job here. Okay, so how do we prepare now from here? So I have bifurcated them into two parts, technical competency and few non-technical competency. I think there is no particular order here. So just feel free to take up, like for example, IT audit and IS assurance. Our own institute certification is really good, I would say. It is equivalent to CISA. I myself did it, and I found it, very, very relevant. That entire curriculum, institute designed it so well. I would highly recommend for all the members, if you have not done it yet, please go through it. It will open a new area of, experience for you, and the way you see IT will change itself. Then the tech advisory and, automation, right? There are some robotic process automations and, RPS and the Power BI tools, where actually, the routine jobs, right, the routine processes, with the help of the RPA technology, we ourselves can do it, right? And, that can be a part of your automation journey. Then SaaS accounting, I was telling before also, software as a service and the compliance, okay? Here there are three things actually, your revenue recognition, the data privacy, and export compliance, okay? So if you get into this area, it could throw up, a lot of opportunities, and you can play a role end to end, starting from, revenue recognition, how it can be done in a multi-country scenario. It is a SaaS environment because the platform embodies everything, hardware, software, and license also. How the data privacy will be maintained, right? Customer will ask you, guys, it is just a platform. So what is for me? How my data are you going to protect, right? And of course, there are some export compliances also. So there also we can play a major role. Then data analytics and AI tools. If anybody is interested, they can learn Python and SQL just for the coding, but that is just for working knowledge. No need to learn per se. There are some AI-powered analytics also available. Okay. If possible, I would strongly recommend, there are few industry recognized certifications available from Google Data Analytics and Microsoft Power BI. They are very, very powerful tools, and it can really enhance your expertise into this area. Then you got fintech and digital finance. So here actually it is bit understanding the other part of the world, blockchain and the crypto, which is the new buzzword now. Your UPI, our own indigenous payment system, the digital wallets in France, and then study RBI SEBI guidelines and the data privacy law. Okay, so just pick up one or two, whichever you feel right as a technical competency, and start building it slow by slow. You will see the difference, the way you see into the IT audits or the system audits, and the way you appreciate the customer's demand in this area. Now let's get into the non-technical competency. Right. So here actually as a chartered accountant, as we know already, we have got strong business understanding, right? So the point I'm harping here is we need to build some business acumen, okay, to uncover some meaningful insight into your client's operations, okay? And that's their strategy goals. If you would know that these two things, where your customer is heading, right? And if you're aligned to them, then all your thinking process, all your solution will be aligned to that. And it will throw up, altogether a new chapter, the way you get engaged with the customer. And customer will see you as a partner, not just as an auditor. Then we can delve into commercial and global contracting. You can learn a lot of innovative pricing models, like for example, gain sharing model, or there are some output transaction-based pricing models, right? And there are some benefit sharing models. So a lot of things depend upon the customer's requirement we can fit in. Then drafting and negotiating the global contracts, both for customers and vendors. This I talked in the before also. So if you expertise, if you just develop expertise in this area, this is a very good field. IP advisory. This is one of the, I would say, very few people only get into this, but this is, I would say, it's a very good area where actually we understand all the three dimensions of, the IP, your legal, your commercials, and the strategic aspects of your IP management. If you can protect your customer's interest, right, around, how their IP can be secured in your hand, right? You have won their heart, right? And, then you can drive them. And so this is going to be one of the very promising area. Then finance-backed product strategic play. CS only can play, I feel, that, the cross-functional leadership in Agile and DevOps area. Let me tell you what is Agile DevOps. Under Agile DevOps, what you do is we do the development and operations together, not as one by one, so that, the real-time inputs, whatever you get, right, or the feedbacks, whatever you get, or the or the outcomes, whatever you get at every stage, that can be implemented in the product itself during the design stage itself, rather than, waiting for the deployment stage. Okay. So here the thing is actually, we can play the leadership role by bridging, the finance, the risks, your compliance, and the business priorities with technology expectations. Okay. So here actually you can really play actually, the CFO role, who can actually bind together all the other functions to meet the customer demand in Agile DevOps mode. Then business strategy in ESG, no need to say. We have got our own course also by our ICI. Okay. So it blends, financial acumen with strategic, foresights and sustainability, where you can, to study with, to start with, if you like to understand a little bit more on this concept, try to understand the PESTEL or the Porter's 5 forces and balance scorecard. You'll get a lot of ideas. There are a lot of tools also available. So which I would say that, while your finance and accounting is happening in your ERP system, side by side, by putting, this AI techniques, you can also solve customers, reporting requirement on, your environmental, social, and governance needs. Okay. So this is, I would say, one of the, upcoming area. So that's all was of the say. Where actually, if you can pick one or two areas, probably you can reach to the next. Okay, so just to conclude, today morning, I was.
Sir, can you pick some question?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just give me some 10 seconds. I'll just conclude this, and then I'll pick some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just put in the AI, how does the world look like for CS in 2035? Okay, so and the picture came like this. So I don't know to what extent it will be becoming true, but I strongly feel that it is possible. At least in 10 years' time, will be automated to such an extent that most of our jobs will be done by the robots, and our efficiency will be to a different extent itself, right? And by having all these things, our purview and our reach to the new industry, to the new India, right? Because we all are heading to 2047 also, right? By when India is going to a developed economy. I think we can play a major role there as all CS. So I wish you all the best. So with this, just stop and I can take some questions now. Yeah. Yes, Govindji.
Yes, sir. One question from Gaurav Munga from Sirsa, Haryana.
Yeah.
He's asking that is this DISA recognized globally in the same way as CISA?
DISA is, I would say, not recognized, but in India, of course, you can do all the audits. Okay. If you want to do it international, then I think it's better to go for CISA. But the curriculum both are same. If you take DISA, then I think you can do CISA with no time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, sir, can we conclude this session?
Yeah, of course. If there are no other questions, I would again, will thank all the participants. 517, it's a heartwarming number, and I will again, thank Satishji and Vishnuji and Govindji to giving me the opportunity to come and share a few of my thoughts before this audience. Okay. Happy to come back again, and we'll meet all of you sometime. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, CA Pramod Padhi sir, for very insightful deliberation of his session. In this session, we explored the vast potential for CAs in IT and software industry, learning how our financial expertise can align with the growing digital economy. The discussion gave us a fresh perspective on how we can upskill and adapt to meet the demand of this dynamic sector. You very well explained about opportunities to explore in practice and in service in the IT industry. You explained us very well that how do we prepare for non-technical competency. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, sir.
So I think till now 548 participants has been joined this webinar, and now I would like to introduce our second speaker, CA Ayush Sani ji. CA Ayush Sani ji has completed multiple exams and courses like forensic accounting and fraud detection by ICI and has diploma in information system audit. He has also delivered multiple sessions in internal audit and GST and was also invited by CII, FICCI, government departments for lecture on GST and income tax compliances. Now, I would like to invite CA Ayush Sani ji for deliberation of his session. CA Ayush Sani ji.
Thank you so much, Govindji, for the generous introduction. And Pramodji, kudos to you for a great first session. First of all, I would like to thank the entire team of CPE for getting together this great session today, starting with Satish ji, Vice Chairman sir, Ajit sir, Akshat, everybody. They have done a phenomenal job. Everything was seamless, phenomenal. So a very good evening to everyone. I hope all are doing well. आज का हमारा जो टॉपिक है इट इज टोटली वेरी रेलेवेंट इन द करंट सर्कमस्टांसेस, जहां पे हमारा जो सीए फ्रेटर्निटी है इट इज एक स्टैग्नेंट हो गई है इन इनकम टैक्स ऑडिट्स एंड जो आपके रेगुलर बैंक ऑडिट्स एंड विच आर फेडिंग ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. तो हमें जो इमर्जिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं इन वेरियस फील्ड्स, हम उसमें ज्यादा फोकस करें रादर देन जो हमारी ट्रेडिशनल और कन्वेंशनल चीजें हैं जो अब रिडंडेंट हो रही है ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, वो निकल जाएंगी. तो ऐसे कौन से हम इस बाय द मीडियम ऑफ दिस वेबिनार व्हाट वी एम टू डू इज कि ऐसी कौन सी अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, इमर्जिंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज है और ऐसी कौन सी रेवेन्यू स्ट्रीम्स हैं जो हम एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं सो दैट वी कैन अर्न मोर एंड ऑल्सो डिलीवर वैल्यू एडिशन टू आवर क्लाइंट्स. तो इस जो टॉपिक में इस जो सेमिनार वेबिनार में हम जो बेसिकली जो मेन हमारा स्ट्रेस रहेगा विल बी ऑन कंसल्टेंसी फॉर पीएमईजीपी और बाकी सारी जो गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स होती हैं बिजनेस ओनर्स के लिए. तो इसमें हम देखेंगे किस तरीके से हम कंसल्टेंसी और क्या वैल्यू एडिशन सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं इन गवर्नमेंट सब्सिडीज फॉर बिजनेस ओनर्स, जिससे कि उनको वैल्यू एडिशन प्रोवाइड हो और हमें भी एक अच्छा सोर्स ऑफ.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Actually, the medium of communication should be in English only as the participants from across the globe. If
Okay.
possible, then.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So, as we know, our CAs are partners in nation building. So, it will not be possible for government also to make their all the schemes successful if our fraternity is not joining hands with them in this pursuit. So, as we know that GST Act and the entire GST mechanism is successful, and even government credits CS for the wide acceptability of the GST. So likewise, there are several other centrally sponsored schemes for business owners. And if we give them hand-holding, either way, if we collaborate with government as well as with the business owners in streamlining these process for taking the benefits out of it so that the actual genuine business owner takes benefit. And many of we have seen that multiple government schemes, multiple government subsidies have been revoked, have failed terribly because they were not implemented properly and the end use of funds was not provided to their intentional beneficiaries. So by medium of we can become a medium for successful implementation, and it can also act as a very good source of vocation for us. So what majorly we'll be covering in this session is for regarding PMEGP and all the government schemes, and mostly DPR and everything is the formats are same for other schemes as well. So what are the requirements in this scheme? We'll talk about what kind of benefits these schemes provide, how much subsidy is provided in these schemes, what are the requirements and what are the eligibility criteria for availing these schemes, what are the do's and don'ts for the documentation part, and how the DPR is to be made, and formats and everything. So now let's deep dive into it. So I'll just dive before diving into the technical part. I would just remember and recall what Theodore Roosevelt said. Far and away, the best prize that life offers is a chance to work hard at something worth doing. अगर किसी को इंग्लिश में समझ ना आया तो मैं इसका हिंदी में अनुवाद करके बताऊंगा कि
नो प्रॉब्लम
कि जो लाइफ एक अपॉर्चुनिटी आपको कभी दे ना कि वर्क हार्ड करने की किसी ऑन समथिंग जो वर्थ फाइल है वर्क हार्ड करने के लिए, तो हमें दोनों हाथों से वी शुड ग्रैब दैट अपॉर्चुनिटी विद बोथ आवर हैंड्स एंड वी शुड नॉट लेट इट गो. वी शुड वर्क हार्ड ऑन सच एन अपॉर्चुनिटी which is worthwhile of doing working hard. So this is also a similar opportunity where our CA brothers and sisters should not leave such an opportunity, and we should help government in achieving the goal, streamlining the policy, help them in policy making and achieving. And if we find that in these subsidies and everything there is certain loopholes or there is certain thing in stream, we should help them by giving feedback to the concerned ministries, and so that the policy framework, the procedures, the formats, they are made conducive to the requirements of the business owners. So I'll just share my slide. I hope so, Govindji, it is visible to everyone. Slides.
It's visible.
Yes,
It's
it is.
visible.
It is visible. So first of all, I'll give a brief background of what PMEGP actually is. See, what happened is many people, there is a tendency, especially in the rural India, to go and look out for government jobs. So what government did is that through the medium of this policy, this scheme, they want to emphasize self-employment opportunities. They want to give self-employment opportunities to the rural unemployed youth. So by the medium of this policy, not only the people are getting self-employed, but also their whatever ventures they are opening, they are also generating employment. So it earlier it is a credit linked subsidy program. So it is earlier they were used to be two policies. So it is amalgamation of those two policies. There was Prime Minister Rozgar Yojana and Rural Employment Generation Program. So it is a kind of policy which focuses on self-employment through micro enterprise establishment in the non-farm sector by helping unemployed youth and traditional artisans. So Ministry of MSME administers PMEGP. The PMEGP is being implemented by KVIC, Khadi Village and Industries Commission, at national level. At state level, the scheme is being implemented through State Khadi Village Industries Commission directorates, State Khadi Village Industries boards, and district industry centers and banks. So I would like to tell it is mostly three things. It is KVIB, KVIC, and banks. So you can go to either of these places and your DICs. So mostly in some state, in rural, if you will go, there are KVIB, Khadi Village Industry Boards. And in urban areas, you will see KVICs and your DIC, district and DIC. If anybody would have the opportunity of going there, you would have known that is the implementing agency of this policy, DICs and banks. So after getting cleared, the bank sends the file to the DIC sends the file to banks, and likewise for the KVIB, KVIC also. So what is the eligibility for taking this loan? So individuals can take the loan. They should be 18 and above. They should have passed at least 8th standard. And what is the project cost? So as we know, it is meant to support micro establishments. It is not meant for those corporate giants and everybody. It is meant for supporting those small stakeholders of our who are looking for government jobs. So by medium of this, what they have put a cap on the maximum amount of project which we can finance under this scheme. So in case of service sector, it is 20 lakhs, and in case of manufacturing sector, it is 50 lakhs. Earlier, it used to be very low. Earlier, it was 5 lakh and 10 lakhs. For service sector, it was 5 lakhs, and for manufacturing, it was 10 lakhs. Then afterwards, I guess in 2022, there was revamp of this policy, and considering how successful it has been in past, so government was quite encouraged to
10 and 25.
yeah.
10 lakhs for service sector.
Earlier, when it started, I was telling you.
Yes.
There has been revamped many times. Now, what we see is 22-26 policy. What we have right now is, so the way before, when it started, for the 8th standard passed people, they used to give 10 and 5 lakh used to be. Then afterwards, when they saw that it is so successful, and the kind of that people saw, like we say, the progression towards this policy, it was revamped, and over the years, allocation in this policy has increased. So individual and must have passed 8th standard, institutions registered under Society Registration Act. So your societies, cooperative societies, self-help groups, and charitable trust can also take part in. So many people have kind of reservations, and they're quite skeptical whether government society, like self-help groups, charitable trust, they can take benefits of the government scheme or not. So yes, they can take benefit. So many ladies, I've seen many ladies, especially I hail from Jammu and Kashmir. So I've seen many ladies, especially in the rural areas of Samba, in Kathua, and in Rajouri Punj, taking benefits of these policies. And they are doing multiple great ventures, from like block printing to the artisans, the tribal crafts. So people have, by taking benefits under this scheme, they have really created self-employment opportunities for themselves. So what is a negative list? What all people can't take benefits under the scheme? So business industries with processing and sale of meat, intoxicants, pan, bidi, cigarette. If the establishment is dealing in all these things and they're manufacturing, they can't take benefit under the scheme. Business industries linked with sericulture, cultivation, floriculture, horticulture, they can't take benefit under this scheme. If, as we know, plastic is being banned everywhere, and there is a journal negative list in plastics in more or less every acts. So similarly, it has been followed here also. If a person is dealing recycled plastics or polythene bags, processing of pashmina wool and other products which involves hand spinning and hand weaving, which comes under the purview of Khadi certification rules. Rural transport except houseboats, tourism boats in Andaman, Nicobar, and Jammu and Kashmir. So what is the subsidy? Now we come to the main part which people look out for, whether it be our CAs or the original beneficiaries to whom we will be providing consultancy in this regard. So eligible subsidies, 25% of the cost of project in rural areas and 15% in urban areas. And for special, and that is for general category people. And for special category people, it is 35% of cost of project in rural areas and 25% in urban areas. And what is this general category and what is this special category and how we go about it? So I'll cover it in our next slide. So what is this general category? What is this special category? And how we can take benefits out of it. So first of all, Govindji, you must have also taken loan, or might be seen many of our clients take loan. So what we see is usually the margin money is usually like 25%.
25% or 30%. The range is
30%
between
margin
25
money.
to 30%.
Bank doesn't give below that. But
Yes,
in
yes.
this scheme, the government has given beneficiaries a support in which journal category people only have to give margin money of 10%. And for special category people, the margin money is only 5%. See what amount of benefit they have given. So not only this, what is journal category? Journal category, you mean normal, all journal category. And special category is not only SC, ST, OBC. Special category also include women entrepreneurs, ex-servicemen, northeast region people, hilly area people, border area peoples, minorities, so physically handicapped people. So they have included so many people in special categories, so that more and more people who, because what we see is these special category people are usually the marginalized people who are taking less benefits of government policies, and less into government opportunities, and into employment. So by doing this, what government has given a huge benefit to these category of people. And rate of subsidy, if you are from urban area and your journal category, 15% subsidy of your project cost. If you're from urban area and you are from special category, 25% subsidy. And rural, if you are from rural area and journal category, 25%, and rural area and special category, 35% of total. So many women entrepreneurs, I was already telling you, many women entrepreneurs from rural areas, artisans, many people, especially in hilly areas, I've seen people taking tremendous benefits out of this scheme. So what happens is, you have taken first loan and it was quite successful. So you can take the second upgradation loan under PMEGP. So in that, there will be beneficiary contribution of 10%, and subsidy amount will be 15%. And if you are from hilly or northeast region, your top-up loan, we say that in normal language, top-up loan will be 20% subsidy for northeast and hilly region. And what will be the total project cost for your top-up loan? It will be 1 crores for your manufacturing sector project cost, and for service sector, it will be 25 lakhs. And what is the eligibility criteria? I've already covered the new units. I'll again cover it just for the sake of remembrance. Individuals should be 18 years and above, no income ceiling. Like if you don't have any income, there, like in early some bank loans, if we go, they tell us कि इतना आपका ITR होना चाहिए. This should be your minimum average income. This, your ITR of 3 years should be this. Give us the ITR. So no such income ceiling is defined. So even if you're unemployed, because it is made to help the unemployed people create self-employment opportunities. So government has done a wonderful step in keeping no income ceiling. Minimum 8 standard you should have qualified. Only new projects eligible. So what happens is sometimes people are already running their projects. They're already running establishments. They tend to come under this scheme to take subsidy. It will not be allowed. Only new ventures, especially because it is made to help the unemployed youth. So new ventures, new establishments, new projects are eligible under the scheme. Units with previous subsidy from government schemes are not eligible. So if you have already taken subsidy in any other scheme, you're not eligible to take a PMEGP loan. So upgraded units. So PMEGP, REGP, Mudra loan. So if these three in PMEGP, we are already studying. REGP is Rural Employment Guarantee Program, Mudra loans. So if you're taking benefits under these schemes, so you can go for our upgraded loans. First loan repaid successfully. Your first loan should have been repaid successfully. Profit making and potential for growth. Your unit should be a profit making unit, and margin money must be adjusted in post lock-in. So these are kind of guidelines, what all we need to, while filing an application for your PMEGP loan, these all things we need to have. So what I'll do is I'll cover a demo of your portal. this PMEGP portal, इसका एक demo ना मैंने screenshots लेके रखे हुए हैं, how we need to file an application and all. तो उसका भी all those very generic things we need to, like what is the Aadhaar number, your name, your what kind of industry you're into, your bank account details, what amount of loan required, what will be your capital structure for working capital, and how much you need for capital expenditure. So very basic things you need to enter into this. Some important aspects. So mostly I've covered these things. Only new units, no income ceiling, existing units. So this, so I've already covered earlier. So while making this is where the mostly the earlier also we need to guide, but DPR is something technical which comes in this scheme. So while making DPR, it is consist of majorly two parts. One is the write-up part, and other is the technical, or the, I would say, financial part of this. So in write-up part, you need to tell about what the project is about, what are its projectors, who are its promoters, where will be the location of this unit, what is the market potential of this unit, and all things, all the write-up and the written data you need to give in the write-up part. And you need to be very precise while writing it, and how we need to draft this I'll cover it in the further slides. And the next is our CMA data, our projected balance sheets, our ratios, cash flow statements, and other important schedules. So this is the contents of DPR. Highlights of project, you need to give a like if many people who are listening to us today, many people would have drafted appeals with the commissioner appeals for income tax department. So like we in the first page, what we do is we give a kind of consolidated data summary sheet or synopsis. Everybody have different terminology for what they draft. So this highlight is also same. What we give is our entire project in 1 or 2 pages. We give what name of project, this much is the loan we are asking for, this is the project cost, this is the capital, this is the revenue, this is this amount of term loan we want, this amount of CC limit we want. But just our entire project summarized into 2 pages. Brief history of promoters, then we'll go in detail, then we'll talk about introduction of our project, brief history of promoters. And in brief, what I see is many people, they don't go into details while writing promoters. Then how will the banker and the industries department guys will get confidence in your application if you're not telling these things? What they do is, many CS, what they do, they take all this written part very lightly. They stress on the technical parts and the financial part. They take this written part very lightly. We shouldn't do this, because this is what takes a great impression on the officer who is evaluating, whether it be a banking officer or your KVIB, KVIC or DIC officer. So what is a brief history of promoters, how much they have qualified, what is the experience, have they done another project earlier also, what if they are having existing any other unit, how well it has been it has worked. So nature of business, what is the nature of business, what kind of category is, because if someone is dealing in plastic and something like that, it is already negative list. So detailed nature of business you need to give. Manufacturing process, we need to make flow charts. Online many such flow charts are already available if you go to Google or you use AI or chat GPT. So proper manufacturing process, for example, if you are dealing into, like, I would say paper, a simple unit, a paper cups, paper paper plates manufacturing. So first of all, paper will go into the machine. How will the machine that processed will go into the another machine, and the entire chain we need to show a flow chart. It gives a very good impression, and the officer also understand how the manufacturing process is going. Because see, we are asking amount for for machines, for buying machines, for these things. If you're taking loan for a manufacturing entity, so we need to explain because they might think that if you are not giving the manufacturing process and everything and all those things, they think it might be a dubious case, it might be a fraud case of just taking loans. So we need to give a complete manufacturing process. The CA need to ask the client what all from where all he is buying because the client also needs to know from where he'll be buying all these equipments, what will be the manufacture. If the client is not sufficiently technically equipped and he doesn't know what he's making, either the client should research into it, or then if his case is he's not well aware of it, then we shouldn't be party to a fraud application. I would say we shouldn't help him make such an application where he doesn't know what he's doing. So we should take all these information from client, what the manufacturing process and everything will be, and make a genuine refined application. What are the raw materials will be required, like paper and all, glue and everything, in case of a paper, all varying upon unit to unit. So market potential, challenges and strategy of project. What will the market challenges the person will face? What is the market potential? For example, I am making a paper cup or a masala unit or certain that kind of any kind of unit. What is the market potential in this? In my area, for example, I am making it in Jaipur. So how many people are consuming the masala in Jaipur? What are the main players? Where will I get the challenges? What is my strategy to overcome those challenges? What kind of USP I have? What is my mode? What all differential factors will I bring in this to this unit? So we have to delve deep into it and cover each and every aspect of it. What will be the capacity utilization of those machines, and what will be the production and what will be the output? So total cost of project, what will be that? Implementation schedule, how much time we will take to make our manufacturing unit, make our shed, install all the machines, and how much moratorium we want from bank. Estimated sales and sales price per unit, estimated raw material description, what all raw materials we will want, estimated cost of utilities with sanctioned power load. And like, for example, if we are making a DPR, because this DPR, if we understand how to make this DPR, will go to several departments. In pollution department, it will go into electricity department, it will go to your various kinds of departments, to your PWD department, everywhere where you will be setting up unit, where all you need clearances, this DPR will go. Industrials department to hai hi. We are first, our primary the person we'll be giving it to is the industry department only. So we need to ensure that each and everything of various aspects is covered in this. Labor department, we need to ensure how many skilled, unskilled, semi-skilled people will be in it. Power load, how much power load will be there? Accordingly, your generator, genset and everything requirements will have to be fulfilled. Accordingly, power load your PDD department will give you. So computation of depreciation, your projected balance sheet, profitability analysis, break even, your all the ratios, the projected cash flow, how much payback period will it take to cover this loan. So some of the important things I've seen over the time, many CAs making mistakes, or some important tricks for making perfect DPRs, I would say. See, perfection comes over the time and practice only makes you perfect. What we can do is endeavor. What we can do is hard work towards perfection. So some of the tips I would like to give in this area is, don't forget to mention subsidy amount and specify urban rural classification. So see, as we have seen for rural and urban areas, there's separate subsidies amount. So specifically mention what will be your subsidy amount, calculate it yourself before the government officer calculates it. So he knows how much subsidy you're asking for. He may curtail it or whatever he does. It is his prerogative. What we need to ensure is we need to file an application making how much subsidy we want, from what all parameters we have derived it, our calculation. We are from urban area, rural areas, we are from special category, general categories, all those things we need to ensure. Give proper introduction of promoters if they have similar successfully running businesses already. I've already told, people tend to overlook these things. So you need to give proper introduction of promoters if they have already delved into a similar kind of unit. So you need to give a proper introduction of the promoters, proper disclosures. So एक चीज जो many times जो आती है, we are making this DPR thing and all, and it mainly covers projections. So is a CA allowed to do all these things? Is CA allowed to sign on it? So see, proper SRS and everything has been made, and many times institute has brought clarifications on it. So they are proper formats. We need to give up. If you are signing on it, first of all, what you need to do, what I personally feel is you should make your client sign on it. You are making it, you are helping him providing consultancy, it is more than sufficient for him, and many officers take it on that only, you know. But if that officer or the department is asking कि हमें specifically CA signed चाहिए, we need the UDIN and all, so you need to ensure you give proper disclosures. You need to save your skin. You need to ensure that what you do is you are compliant of your institute, your alma maters, all the guidelines and compliances they have given. You need to ensure that you are compliant of code of ethics. So if there are proper certification, proper covering letter needs to be given, and everything which has been covered in various SRS and SAEs, you need to follow those formats. You need to give a proper covering letter of all the disclosures. If you are making a like giving a future figures, what all, how much you have increased the sale figures, you need to give proper disclosures of it in your ratios. How much
assumption.
Yes, you need to give proper disclosures, because what people tend to do is you need to follow shortcuts, but shortcuts, somewhat I see many they give a 4 or 5 pages pager DPRs to department, and for just for sake of कि मतलब time बचाने के लिए, and many CS what they do is they do in bulk. So 4 or 5 pages DPR, तो what they कि हाँ चलो हमें काम निकल जाएगा हमारे client का भी और जल्दी हम बाकी काम कर लेंगे. But this is not the case. Tomorrow, if disciplinary committee or anything it comes up to them, so they will not, and they should not leave such cases, because जब सब कुछ everything is already show display, every guidance note and everything is already on your institute's websites and public platforms, then you should avail it. And this institute, our alma maters, has done everything for our own safety, so that tomorrow from government agencies, if for example tomorrow this person which has taken loan defaults, and will not CA become party to it, if you're given UDIN and everything, and you've given blanket everything certifications, so you should always follow the institutes guidance notes, institutes circulars, institutes SAE, SRS standards on such draftings, because it will only be beneficial from you, not only from regarding if anything comes up with the institute tomorrow on this part, but also of as far as your various government agencies are concerned. So proper disclosure of how much interest rate you're keeping. If you're making projections, you're making projected figures of a PNL, so how much interest you are keeping, interest on loan you're booking as an expense, how much rate of interest you're taking, so you should keep proper disclosure of it. If you're taking anything, for example, you're taking any your assets you're keeping in it, so from where you derive the value of those assets. If you're taking the this industrialist will buy, this applicant will buy a machine at so and so rate, from where you derive that, you should ask your client to take proper signed quotations or letterhead from various manufacturers of those machines. You should keep it on record. You should make it as an appendix of your as an annexures of your application to support it, because many times I've seen the department will not ask for it, but you are signing it. If you are signing it, you need to have proper safeguards and checks and balances. All you need to do is you need to I would say your qualification is a very supreme and prestigious qualification. You shouldn't sign it anywhere, anything like that only. You should keep proper record of everything you're signing. Attach proper site plans, drawings, quotations of machinery. You should have proper, because if a person is asking itna electricity lagega, itni hamari construction cost aayegi, itna will be your site plan. So you should have proper site plans for all of those things. And department will also these days department I've seen, they have started asking for all those site plans, drawings and everything. You should give proper disclosure of capacity utilization for machines and their impact. What will be the sales, purchases and direct expenses? Because what you see is same floor mill है, वो एक particular 1 क्विंटल भी निकाल सकती है, वो 10 क्विंटल भी निकाल सकती है, आप जितना चाहो बढ़ाते जाओ, रोलर बॉडीज होती हैं उसमें, है ना? तो how much your capacity utilization will be, it will depend upon what kind of machinery you are buying. So you need to account for that in your projected statements. So for sample DPRs, you can go to KVIC site, Tax Group, Paisa Bazaar, many such sites on where the sample DPRs are available. You can look at it for your own reference. So mostly I have covered everything we need to ensure it, but just you need certain other sample DPRs. So you can go to these sites and avail the benefit. So this is our PMEGP portal. So I think so it keeps on revamping every year or so. It will be changed, I think so. Right now we'll see, but more or less the basic application part is the same. So application for new unit for registered, this is the registered, or if you're already registered, you need to log in, applicate existing units. The second top-up loan I was saying. So online EDP. So what is there? If you're going for it, you need to also take a mandatory EDP training as well. So it depends. If your loan is 5 lakhs and below, you need to do it for lesser hours, and then if it is above, I think so you need to do 10 hours or so, but mandatory EDP training is there. So this is the application. We have already covered application, but this is how it looks on the website. You need to give your Aadhaar card number, name of applicant, who will be your sponsoring agency, and everything. Eligibility criteria we have already covered. It is also available on the website of PMEGP. So even on PMEGP's website, they have given so many sample DPRs. You can just go view the profile. You can click on this view and you will get so many number of applications. Whatever I think so, mostly any kind of client comes in, it has already been covered on this PMEGP website. There's so many so many DPRs are there, almost covering from everything: your corrugation boxes, your AC, your various kind of things, fabrication units, everything. So these amendments we've already covered it earlier only. This 50 lakhs, 20 lakhs. Earlier it was low, and after the new circular came, it was increased. So second term loan upgradation, I covered this as well. Second loan upgradation, this I also have covered. Some frequently asked questions which people ask regarding PMEGP and DPRs and everything. In case of local state like JKRGP, can we claim both? No, you can't claim both. Either you can go for PMEGP or you can go for JKRGP. Like in J&K, the place where I am hailing from, we can have a JKRGP scheme also. So can you claim PMEGP and JKRGP? No, you can't claim. You can claim only one. How many annexes do we need to add in DPR? So I've covered it in detail. All the things we are mentioning, we need to add corroborative evidences for that. We need to add supporting documents in respect of your machinery, your what all annexes, what all you would say interest rate you're following, what all things you have projections you have kept, at what rate your sales are increasing. So all those things, disclaimers, disclosures, you need to have everything on record as an annexure. So how do we upload? I've shared the details of portal. You need to go and upload there. Purposes for which DPR is needed, I've already shared that DPR can be used for multiple areas. It will, your same DPR will go to your pollution department, your this PDD department, your labor department, everywhere with it. So try to make it as detailed, as elaborative, and as compliant with all the checks and balances, especially of our institute, because our institute gives brilliant guidance notes over the period of time. So we should take benefit of these and draft our DPRs and all the documents accordingly. Can same person take PMEGP for 2 or more ventures? No, the person can't take. So we have covered PMEGP, but what we see, the same kind of DPR, the same kind of consultancy is used in other schemes as well. So what we can do is, same, if you have understood how to make DPR, how to give consultancy, all you need to do is you need to ensure that same kind of DPR, same kind
Sir,
of drafting,
we-
you need to.
Can we take question answer after 5:45 for 10 minutes?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the
Okay.
question answers. So just I'll cover all of this.
Yeah.
Few slides only left. I'll
Okay.
cover it and then we can go about it. So in Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, so provides 20 lakhs as grant for proof of concept, prototype development and product trials. Additionally, offers 50 lakhs as convertible debentures for market entry commercialization. For all those things also, you need to make documentation, which is more or less same. So startup, so in if a person is going for has a startup or something like that, and for and has project cost and has concept and used and requires money for prototyping and development and all those things, can avail this scheme as well. Then Stand Up India scheme. So Stand Up India scheme, so mostly all of us knows who have done bank audit and all, because many you see many files of Stand Up India there. So it offers loans ranging from 10 lakhs to 1 crore for setting up of new enterprise in manufacturing, trading or service sector. Eligibility: women entrepreneurs and individuals from scheduled caste or scheduled tribes. So these people can avail. How to apply? Stand Up Mitra for application detail. So these, but the basic process, if you अगर आपको basic चीज समझ आ गई ना, तो more or less बस यहाँ पे सब्सिडी का अमाउंट में फर्क है, इंटरेस्ट रेट पे, कोलैटरल पे, या जो अमाउंट है टोटल प्रोजेक्ट कॉस्ट का, उसमें फर्क है. There's major differences in those things only: your project cost, your subsidy rates, your interest rate on bank loan, your moratorium. But the basic things are same. So if you get to understand how to make documentation and consultancy for one thing, you'll understand by reading the text of the your scheme, others also. CGT MSc, this mostly everybody knows. Credit guarantees up to 5 crores, covering 75 to 85% of the loan amount. MSCs, your SMEs registered under Udyam registration portal can take benefit in this. No collateral is required. So thank you so much. So this was about the seminar. If anybody has any query, they can email me, they can WhatsApp me. I can take it. So Govind sir, I think so we'll cover the queries. So then I'll giving afterwards the query, I'll give my concluding remarks. So you're on mute. I'm not able to listen to you.
Sir, you have told about that 5% of or 10% margin is required according to their category in the PMEGP scheme, right? But the bank has mostly denied for that margin. They take only 25%, 30%. They means they don't want to, according to PMEGP, do the things.
No, that is not
They
acceptable.
said that there is the no. Our rule says that 25% or 30% margin is required.
See, I have seen multiple applications being processed in several banks where I audit. So I've seen they 5 to 10% they bus, or if they create some kind of bottleneck, you can report it to the concerned industries department, or you can raise your concern with the banking ombudsman. So your query will be clarified. But I have seen it. If I didn't have seen that, I wouldn't have told it. But bank gives all you need.
Not all, some of banks.
Some of the banks, then you need to make you need to file an application, you need to register your grievance with the concerned authority that you're not being granted the benefit of the scheme which provides.
So we can apply to the DIC?
Yeah, you can write to the director industries. You can write to the district industry center GM. You can
That
write to
bank has
them
denied
that because they will have scrutinized our application. They have okayed our application and sent it to the bank. How can bank then reject it?
So another question is that now, sir, PMEG application is not being done under from last 2 months. The port in the portal.
Okay, so if there's some technical glitch or something, I don't know, but the industries department is accepting it. If they're not accepting it through portal, you make your DPR, you take the draft of your the PDF of application is also available on internet also. And if you go to the DIC, there also you have the hard copies of the application. You can fill it and give it to them. They are entertained in Jammu, though I have seen they entertain it.
No,
So
but DIC
other areas,
person accepted that from 2 month. Their
okay.
application is not being done in the portal.
Okay. So I think there's some when he might be accessing and there might be some glitch or something like that. But if you can go to the concerned your local district wherever you are residing, the concerned district's industries department, and you can say they'll entertain your application. As such, they have to, even if right now what happens in even Jammu I've seen is that they've made a mission Yuva, and they can't reject the application. If they reject the application, they have to the online applications are being filed, they have to give a proper reasoning of what were the reasons they are rejecting it. So entire from bank to every chain, they have made it quite answerable here.
Sir, one question from Harjinder Kaur from Mumbai. He asked that do CA need to register with PMEGP for providing assistance to loan applicants?
CA, no. CA doesn't need to register anywhere. CA doesn't need to register anywhere. You need to just like you're providing normal consultancy. If a person comes to you, you can provide consultancy to them. It's normal. No registration and all is required. There are things people tend to do is that tend to make management consultancy firms, industrial consultancy firms. So I don't know how much, but as of now, I think so. Industries department doesn't require all of those things. Even if you're a CA, they'll entertain us like a balance sheet signed by you. Even and many I've seen many DICs, they accept even applications signed by those your normal applicants as well. So if as good, even if max to max they can ask from a CAs, they give me a UDIN and sign the balance sheets and everything. No such registration and all is not required.
Okay, so there is also question from Smriti Kohli from Srinagar. That many banks like JK Bank are asking for guarantees from government employees, even in case of MSME units, even for loan of rupees 10 lakhs only. How should we help our client? Means
Absolutely.
collateral security, like the bank have asked for collateral security, even the loan of rupees 10 lakhs only.
Very pertinent question coming from Smriti ma'am. Bank tend to ask guarantees and collateral in many such loans where they're not supposed to, where even the loan scheme, where the basic scheme tells us not to take. Even in KCC, we see up to 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs now increased. They can't take anything collateral. They can't ask for guarantees, but they are taking guarantees. So many such things have been reported to the higher authorities of various finance ministry, and they have struck down heavily on those officers who are doing this non-compliance. So same is the case with the certain other schemes. We see Stand Up India and many so many schemes. But what I see is banker, like what we do. We are also looking for security and safeguarding ourselves, safeguarding our scheme. So same is a mentality of banker also. What he is trying to do is, if tomorrow the loan defaults, how will I safeguard myself? So, and they tell us also their maximum defaults come in this government sponsored loans, but they can't deny it. It has been enacted by the government, central government, so they can't deny it. If they deny it, they don't provide you the requisite the conditions which has been specified, you can go to the concern. For example, in if industry is loan and everything, they're not giving to you, you can write a complaint, you can write your grievance to the concerned industries department or any other department, like in, for example, if you're having from like JK Bank, you're telling, you can write to the JK Bank ombudsman. Yes, made for this purpose only.
Also regarding claims, PMEGP claims, that some of the clients says that claims has been pending for 1 years. Like, and like the loan has been approved in May 2024, and the claim is still pending of PMEGP. So it is.
So what happens? So what happens is, I have also seen this. So many think what they do is they want to see how a unit functions, whether it is. But it I've seen in very less cases. But what banker also
Everything
sees.
has been cleared on the portal of PMEGP. Means like photos, location photos, and other things they have asked. Everything has been cleared now.
See,
But
they have asked
claim
everything.
is
But
still pending.
what they tend to do is they monitor the case for 1 year, whether it is a genuine case, whether it is functioning properly, and every compliance is done. Then when they're satisfied, yeah, this person will not default, then after 1 year, what they आपका जितना CC limit होगा या term loan चल रहा होगा, they put the subsidy in that account, and accordingly उतना आपका loan amount कम हो जाता है. हाँ, but depends upon like banker to banker, to from GM DIC to DIC. Some people स्टार्टिंग में दे देते हैं. Some people want to just develop a trust कि हमें ये होता है कि जब तक उनको ट्रस्ट आए कि
most of the interest part of the loan has gone in 1 year, because the installment has also gone. Then in 1 year, the lot of lost has been occurred in the client, for the client, for delayed claim.
See, that also we need to take up with the concerned DIC, because this I have seen that majorly comes from the bank's part. Bank doesn't put the subsidy amount in your account. So you need to take up with the GM DIC. Your concerned general manager, he'll be a bureaucrat, mostly your concerned local civil services person. So you need to take up with him that this banker, you have sanctioned my case to this banker, and this banker is not giving me the subsidy amount. So if they are getting it from the government, why is the banker not giving? You need to take it up with them, and proper everything should be in writing. You should mail to the concerned bank's head officials also. Many banks have for government sponsored cases, they have made a specific special different unit in their HO. So you can go there as well. You can talk to them. You can mail them this issue. So mostly I'm telling you, if you go to your concerned district now and your bank, most of the problems will be solved then when there only.
Okay, sir. One last question from Mukesh Patidar, Devas. PMEGP scheme continue in year 2025 to 26 state-wise?
See, as of now, what happens is I think so 22, 26, it is going on right now, the scheme tranche. So government, it is a very successful scheme. I think so he's asking whether it will continue. I don't think so it will be discontinued. It is going on from 2008. So and government is many governments have changed over a period of time, but government has continued it, and I think so it is going to continue it, because great self-employment generating opportunities and many success stories in PMEGP have happened. So I don't think so that it will go away very soon. In a foreseeable future, it will continue. So I think so we are done with the questions and answers.
Yes.
So
thank you.
Thank you so much, Govindji, for being a great moderator today. And now I would like to conclude. As I conclude, I recall a quote wrote by a young man, Bhagat Singh. The young man was about to be hanged. He wrote with a piece of charcoal on the walls of the prison. इस कदर वाकिफ है मेरे कलम मेरे जज्बातों से. इस कदर वाकिफ है मेरी कलम मेरे जज्बातों से कि इश्क लिखना चाहूं तो भी इनकलाब लिखा जाता है. So I request all of our CM members to be fierce, to be relentless and to be unapologetic in pursuit of your dreams. You should go ahead. There are so many opportunities in various fields, your forensics, your internal audits, your consultancies, industries, so many things. But you should be unapologetic and work hard. Thank you so much.
Well said. Very well said, Ayush. Yeah.
So thank you very much, CA Ayush Sani ji, for a very insightful deliberation of its session. This session shed light on emerging areas in practice, particularly in government subsidies for startups and consultancy under PMEGP scheme. It's clear that CH have a significant role to assist startups and entrepreneurs in understanding and assessing government subsidies and support program effectively. You have very well explained in detail about detailed project report, manufacturing process of manufacturing enterprises, code of ethics for signing of project report in relation to PMEGP subsidy. So now I would like to conclude the webinar.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Sir,
Govind.
I can give you the for concluding remarks, sir.
Thank you, Govind. Thank you.
And now I'd like to invite to Chairman of CPC committee for concluding remarks, C. Satish Gupta, sir.
Thank you, Govind. Thank you. So, respected Pramod Pathy, my brother Ayush, my brother Govind, committee members, committee secretary, Tiwari ji, tech support team, and my dear friends in a very large number in this webinar. Welcome and thanks both at one time. I could not initiate the today's webinar because I was on a route where connection was a problem. So I'm really sorry that I could not join you in the initiation. Friends, today's session was very important, well started by Pramod Pathy ji, covering the opportunities for the professional, CA professionals in IT sector, especially in the AI environment. And Ayush concluded the session wonderfully by elaborating the opportunities in the government sector, in the government schemes. Friends, as you are aware that in CP committee, in our webinars, we have added 2 modules, one opportunity industry and second opportunity in foreign countries. And the third module, which is started by Ayush today, we would have separately on every Wednesday from the month of June 2025 onwards. And we would like to cover each and every scheme of the national scheme, and we would also cover the state level schemes also. So these 3 things we have added in our webinars. So I would request all the audience, all the participants that kindly don't forget for Friday CP webinar, and from June onwards, Wednesday webinars. And I think you will get an insight over the opportunities, over the technical or non-technical topics relating to profession. Friends, apart from this, I would request that June is coming and the member who has not completed their CP hours, so it is second stage has been started. So if you have not completed your CP credit of 2024 calendar, this is the right time to complete by 30th June by doubling the balance CP credit. For example, if you did not complete your CP credit by 5 hours in 2024 calendar year by 28th of February 2025, then you will have to do 10 hours physically if physical is pending by 30th June. Otherwise, your case will go to the third round, third stage, and that may lead to various kind of problems. In the 4th stage, your case may be referred to peer review board, and in the 5th stage, 5th level, your case may go to the DCE1. I would request that kindly go through your CP credit, and if any pendency is there of 2024 calendar, kindly complete it, kindly fulfill it. And friends, we have sent you a feedback form. We have requested several suggestions from you people, but I would request that continue this process. Give your suggestions. Give your suggestion on our dream project this year that we want to allow the CP credit on real time attendance basis. For this, we are going to take help of technology, and by the help of technology, we would allow the credit only for the hours actually and really attended by the members. So if you have any suggestion for the implementation of our this dream project this year, please give your suggestions, give your feedbacks, give your concerns. And if you have anything to say, please don't hesitate and write our committee. And I can assure you that our committee under the leadership of Tiwari ji is working day and night, and we are trying to reach our last member of the country, and we are trying to provide the quality and availability of the CP hours. So there are several things to talk, but we have opportunity 2 times in a week. We would definitely cover other things also. And thank you very much for attending in such a large number. Thank you, Govind. Thank you, Pramod ji. Thank you, Ayush bhai, for your
Sir, I
time,
want to
for your
inform
efforts.
one thing that
And I hope
632
that,
members has been joined now.
yeah, I hope that under you would provide your time and efforts always to the CP committee, always to the profession, and always to our lovely institute. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. See you again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you all.
Over to Govind.
So
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you once again to all of your time and participation. We look forward to seeing you at our next event. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you.